Welcome to the Jaguar Podcast, a show where we discuss all things related to Duval County's finest NFL football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Move 42, set, fight!
Duval, baby!
What's up, everybody? It's Andrew coming back at you with another episode of the Jaguar Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing the breaking news of Jaguars linebacker Myles Jack being released by the team. So let's get into it. But before I start, quick shout out to one of our partners and affiliates, flteams.com. It's a Florida sports website. They do great coverage of all Florida sports teams. And I put my content up there as well. It's flteams.com. Link in the video description. All right, so let's get into it. Today it was announced that Myles Jack was released by the Jaguars, and let me tell you, this is long overdue. I am relieved because this needed to happen, guys. I know Myles Jack is beloved in the Jaguars community. He's known for the whole Myles Jack wasn't down play against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. And he has done a lot of great things in the community. So I don't have anything against him as a person. I think seems like a great guy. But, I mean, as a football player, this needed to be done 2 years earlier. Honestly, just a trade would have been great. We would have at least gotten something out of, trading him. We would have gotten some value, maybe some draft picks in exchange. I put a Twitter post up about this about a year ago, or a survey, and I was met with like primal rage from every Jaguars fans saying that I was an idiot, that I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, look at you now, geniuses. You didn't get anything for him. Just like Leonard Fournette, you let a running back walk. You cut him for nothing. So how do you feel now? You got nothing for him. But, to make matters worse, he got an extension, was getting paid crazy money, like top 20 linebacker money. So he had some plays there, here and there, but, I don't think he was much better or barely better than Joe Schobert. And don't even get me started on that and that whole trade, because that was stupid as well. And we didn't pick up anybody in free agency that made that trade worth it. So I'm not even going to get into it, but Myles Jack was an overrated football player. After he got that contract extension, we went into the 2019 season. I went to this game. It was the home opener against Kansas City, and he gets thrown out of the game right after he inked this huge deal. And right then and there, I knew this guy was not a leader. He just could not lead this team. And he looked like a baby. Players and coaches had to pull him off the field, just wasn't mature and just wasn't a leader. He's just never been a good leader of this football team. Plain and simple. And it just went on from there. The problems, he couldn't stay healthy. The guy could never play a full season and would make tackles 10 yards downfield. And then I believe, 2019, we moved him to middle linebacker. He stunk it up there. He didn't do a good job either. He couldn't even have the green dot, right? He couldn't even call plays for the defense. And as a linebacker, you're the quarterback of the defense. You should be able to call plays. You should be able to read, be able to read the offense and the setups and the schemes and be able to make adjustments. And he just couldn't do that. And if you're getting paid that kind of money, you got to be able to do that. I mean, this guy, when he got extended, I think he was making in the arena of Bobby Wagner. No, this guy was nowhere near that. I just don't think he was worth it. I mean, a lot of guys that we had drafted, Shaq Quarterman, Quincy Williams, I think, could have gotten some reps instead of this guy. We could have developed some of the younger players that we had. But we kept this guy, and he's done nothing. I'm thinking we go for potentially a linebacker in the weak side linebacker in the draft, maybe like Nakobe Dean from Georgia. I mean, that guy's an amazing talent. Maybe we can make some moves, maybe trade down, try to get maybe a draft pick around, or like a selection around maybe like 10 or 15, because that's where they expect him to go. But we parted ways with Myles Jack because, you know, in this type of business, it's a performance business, and he was just underperforming. Despite, you know, my critique of him as a player, I wish him the best and hope he has success wherever he goes. But let me know how you feel about this move by the Jaguars. Leave me a comment on the YouTube video or podcast episode. Subscribe to the channel as always, guys. Tons of more content coming out in lieu of all the free agency moves. So you'll be seeing a lot of episodes this week. Stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time.
Let me get that. JYD coming up with the big sack. Quarterbacks beware, we on the prowl. Game day night, you could hear it in our growl. Intimidation on to keep their hearts racing. Eating other teams live on TV front of the nation. Spectacular defensive scheme.
This episode is available on the Jaguar Podcast YouTube channel. So if you stop by, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. Also, these episodes are available on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and other major podcast distributors as well. So if you don't mind, please leave me a review and some feedback. I'd really appreciate that. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, my Twitter handle is @JaguarPodcast. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. This is Andrew signing off. Cheers.